Let's dive into a world of exciting facts on Factbeast. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. No Nepal taku whenua tūpana, ko Māta Pusra taku moanga, ko Seti taku awa, ko Otipoti taku kāinga noho, ko Mt Cargill te moanga, ko Li te awa, ko Aotearoa taku kāinga rua. No reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Hello and welcome back, my Factbeast fans, to another truly astonishing episode of Factbeast with none other than me, Ajax. In today's episode, I will talk about a very special topic, which has already gone by, but it's still kind of close, I guess. Well, closest you could guess. And before I reveal the topic, I just want to tell you a bit about today's episode. As I already told you or mentioned to you that this episode's going to be a little different than you might have expected it, because I've done a few programs and they've been different, I guess, and this one's another one that's very different to one of the past episodes I've done. And so now I'll reveal the topic. The revealing of the topic really needs a drum roll. Could you do that? Good, thank you. So the revealing of the topic starts here. The topic is Everest Day. Everest Day, most of you might not have heard of. Well, you might have heard of it, but don't know the meaning of it. Well, don't worry, because I'll tell you all about it today. Every corner of it. So, first of all, I wanted to share this article that is about Everest Day from Dr. Barnstola, which he writes very interesting things, and the title goes, Nepal-New Zealand Ties Beyond Everest. After reading this article, I have found out that he has found some astonishing, fascinating similarities between Nepal and New Zealand, and Everest Day is one of the big ones. That's why I've decided to do my episode on Everest Day. As some of you might know, but most of you might not know, Everest Day happens every year at a certain time, which is May 29th. And I'll share why right now. May 29th was the iconic or historic day of when Mt Everest was first climbed. And lots of you know this. Mount Everest was climbed by Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay Sherpa. These people are very famous people that go back a lot of years. And I just wanted to say that these are very important people. Not only because, wow, they climbed Everest. Just because they climbed Everest isn't the point. But it's about Everest. What mountain is Everest? Is Everest a mountain, a sea? Well, it's obviously a mountain now because they climbed it. It could be a wall, but no. So Everest, if Everest is a mountain, which it is Everest the biggest, tallest, highest? What mountain? Maybe the longest? We don't know. So I'll explain it to you. And that's why they're really important. Not only because they climbed Everest. Everest is the biggest mountain in the world. No wonder they are so iconic, Tenzing Norgay Sherpa and Sir Edmund Hillary. So, yeah. This day, as I told you, is always celebrated on 29th May because it was the day that they actually reached the top of Mount Everest, the tallest mountain in the world, reaching 8,848 meters high. And so Dr. Barnstola has recognized some various similarities between these two countries, mainly because of Everest Day, because that is probably the biggest bond reason between them, but maybe that is the biggest, but it sure isn't the only one. There are lots of similarities that carry these two cultures throughout their similarities, their sameness. They are now big friends, just like you and your mate are friends. They started just like that, just from climbing the world's tallest mountain. So from that feat, they have always been the same. Not the same, I can't say the same. They are different in shape and popularity and all of these other things. But there are some similarities between them, which I will not only be sharing today's episode, but I will also be sharing facts about Everest Day near the end. So you really want to listen out to this program, because this might be a special program. Let me just carry on with Everest Day. So first, he has said that I have had the privilege of calling Aotearoa, the land of the long white cloud, my second home for the last 10 years. And then he has said that I hail from Pokhara, a vibrant city in Nepal, known as the exceptional gateway to the Himalayan hills and Himalayan trails like Matapusre, Annapurna, Dhaulagiri, and the adventurous Seti River for rafting. The move to Otipoti, Dunedin felt as I was in Nepal. Therefore, to change, I couldn't feel the hard part, because Mount Cargill's presence here reminds me of my hills far away, hiking trails, Leith River, cultural diversity, and the deep cherishing nature feats which have made the move to Aotearoa super easy for me. Apart from the long distance that Nepal and New Zealand are far away from, the geographic difference, they are very similar. They have lots of similarities, which, as you know, I will be sharing to you. But before that, you are currently listening to Factbeast. This program runs every fortnight, Friday, 3:30 to 4 p.m. on ORFM 105.4. In today's program, I'm currently talking about Everest Day, and not only is Everest Day historical day for this week because I'm telling the show on it. As I was telling you, apart from the geographic distance, which is 12,073 kilometers, that these two countries' cultures have a lot of similarities, which I'll be showing you guys. So let's get into it. Worship of natural elements. Both the Nepalese and the Maori culture not only care but look after their atua gods. For both of these cultures, atua gods are big things in life. And the most famous 5 natural elements are the earth, sky, water, and air, and also fire. In Maori, they are called atua, gods, and in Nepalese, they are called Pancha Mahabhuta. The goddess or gods are, for Maori, fire is Mahuika, air Tawhirimatia, water Tangaroa, earth Papatuanuku, sky Ranginui. Just like this, in the Pancha Mahabhuta, the Nepalese cultural side, for air it is Agnidev. Air, for fire it is Agnidev. For air it is Payudev. For water it is Paruna. And for earth it is Bhudevi. And for sky, the last one is Dayas, which are some very special gods that not only cherish the Nepalese side, but also the Maori side, both of these sides. Musical heritage. The Nepalese and Maori traditions have heaps of important musical instruments, just like the flute, koaua, or basuri, the conch shells, putatara, or sanka, goes back in time. Oh, by the way, talking about gods, I've made a program on gods, so be sure to check that one out. And right now, talking about music, go to check out my music episode. They're both really interesting. And now, let me go to the language and sound side, which is also a very exciting side. And I'll talk about that right after this. You are listening to Factbeast. This program runs every fortnight, Friday 3:30 to 4 p.m. on Oro FM. Today, I'm talking about the similarities between the two nations, Nepal and New Zealand, and also talking about Everest Day. So let's keep on going. So the language and sounds are a very interesting one with lots of similarities that Dr. Ashik Banstola has found. Nepalese language in total has altogether 14 independent vowels. Among these 14, 10 of them are similar to 5 Maori vowels. A, E, I, O, U in Maori, which can be, if they are put into macrons, they can be A, E, I, O, U. And in Nepalese, it's the same. For without the macrons, I guess, is A, E, I, O, U. And with the macrons, which makes it a little longer, are A, E, I, O, U. So these are very exciting similarities that Dr. Banstola has recognized, which is a round of applause for him. Thank you for noticing these similarities, because that was heaps of fun, wasn't it? Now, let me go to another topic in Everest Day, which is the fact part, which is also really exciting. Hey, do you know Everest Day? You know all about Everest Day, right? Well, after that, you need to know some facts about the tallest mountain in the world, Mt Everest. As you know, it is the biggest mountain in the world, 8,848 meters from the sea level. And I'm guessing you know this fact, but I'm guessing that you won't know these other facts. And the second fact is that Mount Everest wasn't always joined into Mount Everest's name. Mount Everest wasn't always Mount Everest, which is really confusing, but its actual name was Peak XV or Peak 15. They changed it because of this person whose last name was Everest. And so they put Mount Everest as his name because he was the one who discovered Mount Everest. And so this leads on to another fact, that Mount Everest is actually pronounced in a different way than we normally call it. So normally people like to call Mount Everest Mount Everest. But did you know that Mount Everest isn't the actual name? It's Mount Everest. E-V-E and then R-E-S-T. Not E-V-E-R and then E-S-T. Which is a mind-blowing fact. But I guess you can keep on calling it Mount Everest because history has changed. Now, as you know, the first people to climb Mount Everest were Tenzing Norgay Sherpa and Sir Edmund Hillary. Just like that, the first woman to climb Mount Everest was Junko Tabei. which was a Japanese woman, which I'll tell you about. She climbed Everest in 1975, not long after the climb of Suraj Mantaluri and Tenzing Norgay Sherpa. And while she was climbing, she was 35 years old. And so I told you that I would tell you a little bit more about that bit. And when I say that she is a Japanese woman, I don't know if this is for sure, but my opinion is that to climb Mount Everest, Junko Tabai must have had a lot of practice because she's Japanese and there are heaps of mountains in Japan, to very scenic ones, to like Mount Fuji, and to mountains very small, like Mount Takao, which is 599 meters. So you can see that there was a variety of mountains she could climb. I think she got a really big amount of practice. That's why she nailed it. This next fact is quite interesting. The first wedding in Mount Everest, not in, but on. So the first wedding was on the peak was by Mol Manput and Pem Porgi Serpo, both willing to climb Mount Everest because they were really excited to climb, and they were good climbers, and they had done so much practice, and then they were both adventurous, I guess, and so they done that in 2005. Now let me just tell you the different names of Mount Everest. Of course, it's called Mount Everest and Peak XV. Not only these, but there are two more names, which are Komolungma, which means the goddess mother of mountains, and Sagarmatha, which means the forehead in the sky. Both have pleasant meanings and very important ones too. So now let me tell you the amount of people that have climbed and failed to climb Mount Everest. So 4,000 people have tried to climb Mount Everest, and lots have succeeded, but some have failed. So first, on the climb to Mount Everest, although plenty of people climbed Mount Everest, some of them failed to death, which leads to our next fact. 300 people died. You might be thinking, wow, that's a heap, but trust me, there have been some nasty things that have happened on Mount Everest. And just like the death track that there is, the death part of Mount Everest, there are heaps of dangerous things, so no wonder all these people died. So my next fact is that Mount Everest is over 60 million years old, which is very old for a mountain, but trust me, it isn't the oldest mountain, which leads to our next fact. The oldest mountain, which is the Barberton mountain found in South Africa, which dates back to 3.5 billion years. So now let me tell you nothing. No, so now you'll be telling me some answers, because I'm going to be asking you some questions. So this is practically quiz time. Let's see how many facts and things you could remember. So the first question is, what is the height of Mount Everest? Depending on if you got it right or wrong, you could get a point. So if you got it right, you got a point. If you didn't get it right, you're still on 0 points. So the height of Mt Everest, just to remind you again, is 8,488 meters. No, the height of Mt Everest is 8,848 meters. So if you got that right, well done. The next question is, what is the Earth? What is the Maori name for Earth? The Earth God in What is the name of the Earth God in Maori? Yes, if you said Papatoa Nuku, you're right, and you get another point. If you didn't, well, you're still stuck on 0. But if you got the last one and missed this one, you're on 1. And so, last 2 more questions before I have to go. Let's stick with gods and go, what is the sky god's name in Maori? If you said Rangi Nui, you are right. So you get another point. If you got all 3 out of 3, well, good job. Let's see if you can get the last one. How old is Mount Everest? If you said 60 million years old, well, good job. You might have got 4 out of 4. But if you got 3 out of 4, you've still got a good score. 2 out of 4, halfway there. You might want to listen more. And 1 out of 4, keep practicing. So that was all for today. But if you would like to listen to more fascinating Factbeast shows, then go on to Spotify, Google Podcasts, or Apple Podcasts. Thrilling episodes will rattle you on and will also keep you entertained. So that's all I have for today. Bye-bye. Thanks for listening to Factbeast on Youth Zone.